Oh, hi. I'm Polo from Polarity. Go away. Look, I'm here in the forests of Costa Rica, and I'm looking for a rare artifact. Some people say that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Some other people also play League of Legends, so please keep that in mind. It should be right up this trail. I just have to find it in time. Okay, we're almost here. Wow. I really should have learnt the basics of motion tracking before I made this video. Well, now I'm out here in the middle of nowhere with no lighting because this camera doesn't have a flashlight. You're probably wondering, why are you alone? Who are you? Where are you? Well, one, my footage corrupted, so I didn't want to call my cameraman Thomas out again because I felt bad. Two, I'm Polo from Polarity, I already told you that. And three, I'm out here in search of the galactic train. It's been rumored that it takes the souls that have passed away and sends them to the afterlife. Again, people do also play League of Legends. So now I'm just kind of in Costa Rica. I don't really have a whole lot to do. I can talk about a video game if you want. Is there a bug on my fucking screen? We're cooking, we're spitting. Well, just before I trekked up here to the lovely forest of Costa Rica, please ignore the stairs, I was thinking of a game to cover. I thought this cute little indie game would suffice. It's called Needy Streamer Overload. It's about a streamer, I think. I don't really know the plot. I just heard that people called it psychological horror. And look, I didn't pay that label that much mind because I've seen enough badly executed psychological horror. I mean, Coffin of Andy and Laylee was psychological horror. And the only thing scary about that game is that those siblings were not leaving room for Jesus. But please keep in mind, Needy Streamer Overload is not for the faint of heart. It's not that scary, it's not gonna like jump out of the screen and fucking attack you, but it will make you feel uncomfortable. For some, it's a cute video game about a girl they need to fix. And for some, it's just a normal insight to the daily life of a streamer. And for some people, like my fellow late Gen Zers, this is kind of like if a war vet played Call of Duty. So this is a content warning. Please keep in mind that this game has themes of negative mental health, drug use, and
self-harm.
That might be a bit too much for some people. You okay with that?
Let's get some background into what this game actually is first. Needy Streamer Overload was released in the year of our Lord 2022, year of the Will Smith slap, the Midas Kaguya-sama movie, and the Queen's retirement. According to its Wikipedia, this game is Denpa inspired. Not knowing what the hell a Denpa is, I googled it. Turns out it's a Japanese term for individuals or persons who may feel disconnected from reality or dissociated from the people around them. Yeah, that's right. The Japanese have already coined a term for your entire existence. This game is a psychological horror point-and-click game in which your goal is to help this silly little girl named Ame reach 1 million followers in 30 days. Now, reaching 1 million followers in 30 days is no easy feat, but I'm built different. Getting subscribers is easy, allow me to demonstrate.
Please, 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 please.
But this accomplishment might be a little bit difficult for poor old Ame, as she is slightly mentally ill. She relies on her boyfriend named Peachan to do her job for her. And guess what? That's you! Oh, lucky you! That kind of explains why this game was so popular for many, because incels can finally live their dream of porking their favorite VTubers. Is that joke too inappropriate for this channel? Whatever, I don't have standards. This is, first and foremost, a management game. Your goal is to get as many followers as possible while making sure Ame's stress meter doesn't get too high. Her affection meter also needs to be monitored, as the meter lowering can result in her feeling no love for you, but the meter growing can result in... I see. No, I You also need to keep in mind the most important meter of all. Ame's mental darkness. If her mental darkness rises too high, nothing actually happens. You're just kind of a dick. There's tons of things you can do to increase or decrease Ame's various meters. You can go out with her, you can chill with her, you can watch movies, you can take copious amounts of drugs, you can let her cuck you, you could fuck her. All in all, you're like a Swiss Army knife of terrible ideas. The secondary effect of these options is that they allow Ame to come up with new stream ideas. Playing games might give Ame the idea to start a let's play, or watching a movie might remind Ame that some pop stars love eating popsicles, and now she has the idea to give the audience a virtual BJ. This game is very horny. Oh, so was Andy and Laylee. What does that say about me? Oh. At this rate, the next video is going to be on Honeypot. And yeah, that's the extent of this game's gameplay. Gain followers by streaming, generate new stream ideas by doing various activities with your grandma and girlfriend. Also make sure she doesn't get too stressed out, make sure she doesn't overflow with love, and also make sure she doesn't start making Bakugo fan cams. Congratulations, game explained, video over. I give it a 9 out of 10. Has a little something for everyone. Bye-bye now.
It's not that simple. See, I warned you that this game had a little more under its hood, but in order to truly show you that, I think we need to watch my first playthrough. Let me show you how I floundered my way through my first playthrough of this video game, and maybe you'll see what it's really about. God, next time I gotta get a fucking cameraman.
Warning. This game is set in a place sort of like modern-day Japan, but also not. Any resemblance to real places, entities, and persons living near dead is purely coincidental. Please bear in mind that at the end of the day, this game is a piece of fiction. It may not necessarily reflect—
Oh my god, this music is cranking. What the— This game's music is produced by Ioban. For all my Monster Cat heads out there, you might actually recognize that name. They're a pretty recognizable EDM producer. They usually tackle house tracks instead of the Eurobeat style present in Needy Streamer, but I'd recommend checking out their solo music if you have the chance. My personal favorite tracks from them are Fragments and Research Light. This game's OST is honestly fucking crazy. Almost every track is a slapper, and you'll be hearing it throughout the course of this video. Log in with my password Angel Kawaii 2. It appears you know Japanese. Your Nihongo is Jozu. When I send you a DM, I can sometimes pick your own reply. When that time comes, make sure you think long and hard. Okay, why is the cat there? Peachon! You're my Peachon, because you're so perfect for me. I might kill myself. I'm gonna start stream and go. Whoa, the pixel animation is actually fantastic. During a stream, you can delete the annoying comments and choose 2 colored comments, super chats. Keeping your cursor in the comment section will slow the game down and make things a little bit easier. OMG, Kawaii Angel. You can call me Cat Angel. Biggest streamer on MeTube. That's a threat and a promise. Threaten us more, Angel. Wait, I'm keeping that one. That's a guess. We're gonna get to that 1 million within a month. Dog, that ain't happening. Have you tried the coffin of Andean lately? The first goal the game gives us is to get the channel monetized. The required goal is 10k followers, and if you fail, you get evicted. Now, given this woman is not necessarily in the best headspace, maybe getting evicted is what's best for her. But what am I gonna do? Say no to her? Hello? I'm down bad. I'm forever plummeting. I have been falling for 30 minutes. This woman could snap her fingers and I'll be chained up by the neck like a dog. Dear Lord, I am pushing the boundaries of what I can joke about. The goal is 10k subs, so we've got work to do. I'll follow all your orders perfectly, and I promise you I'll become the best streamer. I think I might just break and fall apart. You seem a little— you don't seem like you're in the best headspace for this. I'm not clicking that. Oh, this is like a subreddit. No, this is like 4chan. I can post, and my stress will go up, my affection will go down, and my mental darkness will go up. So I get nothing. Accurate depiction of 4chan. Tinder, my affection will also go down, and my mental darkness will go up. This is what it's like for women on Tinder. Meet a guy, mental darkness goes all the way up. This is my tweeter. Can I talk to Grok? I'm gonna lobotomize everyone and make it so that the only streamer they can enjoy is Kangel. I don't care. I give up. Chat and chill. That will increase my stress to 23. Oh, I don't want to click this already. Come on now. Yeah, this stress— no, that stress goes crazy, and the mental darkness goes up too, but the followers go crazy. The stress will go up high anyways, but this gives me extra points in Gamergo. Which is very funny. One of my favorite parts of this game are your silly little streams. Like I mentioned earlier, you can generate stream ideas by doing random tasks day by day. These stream ideas range from sensual ASMR to discussion of government conspiracies. Oh my goodness. Each stream has unique dialogue for both Ame and the chat, and they can be really funny. I got a little bit of trivia about the corned beef I ate yesterday. Oh yay, corned beef trivia. Or horrendously stupid. Get me alphaning. Okay. Harajuku gives me a new idea, and I get affection. But the time will change to night. Oh, it's already noon anyways. Let's go. Secret, she moves back over it every time I try and click on it. How do I click on the— trying to get the secret. Go away. Wondered by myself, is this becoming a couch, but if I did, I think I would never leave it. I think I would turn into a blob. She's based for milking money from incels with her streams instead of becoming a wage cuck like the rest of us. I salute you, K Angel. What the hell? Psst. Hey you. Want to hear about the writing in this game? No, Paula, don't subject us to that again, please. I beg you, no talking about the writing. Okay. Bro, chill. The This game's writing is actually pretty solid. We'll get into this more later when we talk about the game a little deeper, but I do love the way that Ame speaks. Some pretty bad hate takes psychic damage. Has anyone noticed went from being yellow to red? Should I be worried? Nah, you should be fine. Her streaming personality is very different from her own, though the gap is definitely believable. After each stream, Ame will send 2 tweets, one from her public VTubing account and one from her private, and the contrast between these two are very funny. If there's something you can trust is true on the internet, it's that you guys all met me. So be proud of the fact that you're my fan. I would never trick you or turn my back on you. I will talk you all on my private though, LMAO. Ame will also text you, so thanks Needy Streamer Overload for finally allowing the terminally online anime fandom to discover what it's like to text a woman. I particularly like how these messages are written. I have personally communicated with many people who are terminally online, especially between like 2017 to the present. It's really hard to explain, but terminally online people are a personality type, you know? Like, I don't know if this makes sense at all to most people, but the best way I can explain it is that you can tell just by the way someone texts whether they're a fan of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And that's no shade to Andy Samberg, it's just like I just know, you know? And as the rare specimen that is a terminally online loser who's actually spoken to women, Ame's texts come right out of Tumblr. Anyway, yeah, I think the writing is actually pretty good. Again, we'll get into specific examples later, but the dialogue is so incredibly accurate that it gave me PTSD flashbacks, and that's very obviously what the game is going for. This is a woman in the worst headspace humanly possible, and you don't even need her venting in your DMs to know that. Once you learn she frequents 4chan, then yeah, I'm not sure whether I can fix this one. What I'm seeing here is you're using the term "I'm bitches" in a text message, so for that reason, I'm out. I've been waiting for this. We got Akihiko in chat. Taking a date to troll junk PC pot sounds like a terrible idea, but it was actually a lot of fun. Peachan could turn anything into a good time. Wow, this bitch hates me. What if the government made you a nerd? We're going Alex Jones mode. Every second you stream is a second that I won't kiss my sister. So not, this motherfucker hates me. She hates me so much. What the f did the OST just do? Why can't I select this one? Can I unselect it? Oh well, we're keeping it though. We're increasing her mental darkness. I bet you guys are curious about how I came to be. You know, I really hated adults. They're always so fake. I'm 14. I'm 10. The life of a content creator. Oh, I should also mention that the game allows you to respond to Ame's messages with emojis. There's 8 to choose from, but fuck all the others. I just spammed this one the whole time. It just says this. It's awesome. If you died, then I would just lose it. So I've decided that no matter what, I will die before you. Love forever. This. Maybe we should call Kangel's haters demons. Haha, get it? This. I love scary and strange stories, and it's full of them. That's why it's so good. This. I like to do a lot of deep digging and network and stuff. I think urban legends that start on the internet are so much fun. Like anything goes. Love living in the 21st century. This. We all need a bit of horror and spookiness in our lives. I think I'll talk about it on my next stream. I hope everyone enjoys this. I need to pee. Can you go pee for me instead? What? This? I need a question mark on that one. You're not looking at my DMs as quickly as you used to. Don't you care about your adorable girlfriend anymore? This. Dog. I'm Orb. Everyone, comment down the word this with a full stop. Anyways, I had almost met my quota for 10k, but I needed more followers. Believe me when I say I really wanted to go into this game with a pure mind. Okay, this game could be horny sometimes. I'm not gonna contest that. Some days, Ame will just hit your DMs and force you to bang her. That's just how this game works. Again, she's a gooner. You're essentially dating Bao. But I wanted to be better. I wanted to avoid it. I wanted to be pure of heart. But Sexy Stream gives me a lot of followers, so like that'll give you stress, but this one is a big follower bump. Okay, we're doing this. Guys, I'm doing it because it's a really good idea. It's okay if your job was just being alive is enough. Just get the fuck out of it. Smooch. Is that it? Thanks, please go die. What the f? Oh! That's a lot. And just like that, I had hit 10k. Now that the channel's monetized, you can't get evicted, so it's all about grinding from here to try and get 1 million followers by day 30. I got DM'd about a potential sponsorship. Yo, a sponsorship. We're entering the big leagues, baby. Don't get too excited. It's Temu. Guys, I kind of need to click it. I need to click. I don't, it's right there. Oh, okay, I see. I never thought about doing it by, they did. I mean, I'll shut the fuck up now. I watched Shin Godzilla. Godzilla with the hard R. I don't even
don't want to say that. Okay, the stress is bad. We can't do this. We really can't do this. All right. Okay, so the stress is gonna go crazy. That's bad. Oh, she's not happy. I know I'm always complaining about the nerds and stuff, but I wouldn't be there without the sport and faith. I need to thank them for their devotion. They're the only ones that turn me into internet addicted to God to an angel. For my next stream, I'm going to talk a bit about the internet and tell everyone how grateful I am for all of them. This. Okay, now you're really stressed out. Let's bang. We did it, y'all. 100K. Woo. To celebrate, I'll tell you guys a bit more about myself. I'm a Capricorn. My favorite rapper is Token. Thank you all for 100K. As I have 100K subscribers right now at the moment. And if you want us to get past one, if you want this joke to age well, you should click the button. Did you do anything cringy in middle school? Oh, I get to type this? Killed a man. I did, lol. You're not listening. God, just remember that makes me want to hurl. Dude, this. What about you when you were in high school? Killed another man. Lying around with Peach-chan watching late night anime is probably my favorite thing ever. That is lo-fi hip-hop study girl. You can't fucking trick me. I was just wondering if anyone would even miss me if I were gone. They don't have to watch me. They can just go watch some other streamer, right? Yeah. What do people even like about me? No! You're everything. As if no one wants to factory defense. God damn it, that increased your stress. This game is gonna give me PTSD. What should I do? Have you tried Gangnam Style? True, all my fans need me. I need to create a place where all of them can belong. Alright, let's keep doing our best. Yay! Okay, wait, it wasn't that smooth sailing. I gotta pause the montage. A quick-fire way to get more followers are these risky streams. I mentioned it before, but the sexy streams pull in crazy numbers, but you gotta be careful because they also increase your mental darkness a lot. The ASMR streams do the same thing, but I didn't actually unlock them on my first playthrough, but I did unlock the sponsored stream. These don't actually give you money because there's no currency in the game. They're just silly little side options where you promote a terrible product and try to pretend it's good. Speaking of which, we have a Discord now. A bunch of people asked for it for some reason, so here it is. Polarity Danganronpa. Why is it called Polarity Danganronpa? Because I always plan my videos 5 steps ahead of time. Ask me questions in the Q&A section. Talk about the things you love, and I love this. I don't really know what bingo contest is. Michael just kind of added that one, but it is there. The link is in the description. Anyways, back to Needy Streamer Overload. I did a little too many of the sexy streams, and turns out if you do too many of them, this happens. All right. Hold on. That's not how the streams usually start. Oh, that's the end? Did I really get the Guna ending? Whoops. I will say it is very in character of me to get the Gooning ending first, but I don't really like the image that paints for myself. I did it for the followers, okay? Wait, did you say ending? Does that imply there's multiple?
Shut the fuck up. I'm getting to it, okay? Just hold your horses, okay? Keep eating all of my hay.
The dawn of the final day approaches, and we are not at 1 million.
But I mean, we're at 800,000, which I still think is good. Yeah, it turns out it's actually really hard to get 1 million followers by the deadline. But while that's the goal the game gave me, we still get an ending anyways for failing to achieve the goal. Peach-chan, look, that Moo agency that has tons of famous VTubers signed with them just sent an offer to Kangel. In this ending, a large VTubing corporation offers a contract to Ame, and she sails off to the horizon. She also leaves you for XQC. Can't believe I lucked out on getting such a famous streamer for a BF. I'm so glad I signed on to a big company. He's a streamer just like me. Oh. So we got cucked immediately. What? Oh, is he just no, I'm sure it's great. Oh, there are chainsaws. Oh, where did I go wrong? Well, you left me. Do we really have to sacrifice love in the name of fame? Great. And that's the end of my first playthrough of Needy Streamer Overload. I got the Gooning ending, then I got cucked immediately, and my YouTube career failed spectacularly. I'm like the anime girl version of Sneaker.
So, congratulations. You now know what it's like to play Needy Streamer Overload. It's fun, it's cute, and it's got a little bit of uncomfortable sprinkled in there for good measure. It's a simulator on what it's like to be closely involved with a mentally ill woman who's hyper-fixated on her own popularity, while also being a cute, silly game where you advertise Coca-Cola and promote conspiracy theories. And maybe I overhyped this game a little, maybe it's a bit of a stretch to say that it hides some crazy beast underneath its surface, but it's not an understatement to say that my first playthrough barely scratched the surface of this thing. See, in my first playthrough, I got 2 endings. In the entire game, there's...
And thus, the quest commenced. I really had to argue with myself about this. Do I commit to trying to go for 27 different endings? I mean, that's ridiculous. That's so many endings. It's one ending for every year Playboy Cardi has been alive. Hey, I'm editing this video and I realized that I was wrong. I thought that he was 27 when I wrote this video. And then he turned 28 because it took me 8 years to edit the video. And then I wrote a joke about it. I was like, oh wow, it took me forever to make this video. So happy birthday, Cardi, you're 28 now. He was 28 when I wrote this video. He turned 29, and I'm just wrong. So he was never 27 while I was working on this video. Past Polar is an idiot and can't count, and at the end of the day, what we've all learnt is, happy birthday, Cardi, I hope you had a great day. This was gonna be a task and a half. I could cut my losses right now and make a mediocre video about a decent game that made me uncomfortable for reasons I can barely explain, but honestly, that would be so incredibly boring. At least the last video had incest in it, that was something. So fine, I got this. I can get every ending. There's an old adage spread around for years that goes, you are what you eat.
And I'm not a pussy.
Fallen Angel and Nerdy Girl Overload were the endings I achieved while playing this game for the first time. Fallen Angel is the Gooner ending, requiring you to do a sexy stream 5 times, in which Ame eventually starts an OnlyFans and the game ends with the message, humans cannot survive on lust alone. Personally, kinda cringe. Ame says multiple times in DMs that she loves this shit. She tweets about banging you. Clearly she's an exhibitionist. If she wants to start on OnlyFans, then who am I to stop her? 4 out of 10 ending. This really isn't as bad as the game pretends it is. Japan. Slut shaming again. Nerdy Girl Overload is the ending that I think a lot of people got on their first playthrough. For this you need 500,000 followers, but less than 1 million, and on top of that, Ame's affection for you must be below 80 by day 30. There's a lot of endings in this game, and a lot of stats, and a lot of things to keep track of, but the real secret to all of this is that next to none of it matters. I was trying to keep Ame's affection at a nice 50, because I thought if you went above or below, it would cause me problems while playing, but really you just don't want it to hit 0 or 100. Basically, every stat just exists to decide what ending you get, and once you learn that, the tension decreases significantly, but I also can't exactly blame the game for that. Yeah, spoiler alert, the game is less anxiety-inducing when you know how it works. Congratulations, you're a genius. Nerdy Girl Overload has Ame leaving to a VTuber studio, cucking you immediately, and then going on to kill her new boyfriend, and the game ends. This ending fucking sucks. For a day 30 ending, it feels absurdly anticlimactic just to have her want to kill someone. It comes out of nowhere. I know she's mentally unstable, but if you haven't experienced the other endings, which most people wouldn't have by this point, Ame's murderous temptations aren't really established, so it just kind of comes out of nowhere. This ending is lame, 3 out of 10. Utopian Parody is an ending that you get when you do the exact same thing, but instead have your affection be above 80 on the final day. Kinda. Actually, there's 2 ways to get this ending for some reason. This ending has a variation in which if you get Ame's mental darkness and affection above 60 on day 15, she'll vent to you about her trauma in a text dump so accurate it physically gave me pain. Really poor, like really poor. We had no money and my mom was about to force me to be a prostitute. So I'm really happy that I have a home with you now, Peachan. Yikes. Shout out to those like me who have woken up to messages like this, and shout out to those who have sent messages like this. For the love of God, I really hope you're better now. If you're a good boyfriend and remember what she talked about, you can ace this ending super easy. At the end of the game, she'll lament about not hitting 1 million followers and then quiz you on whether you remember her backstory. I'll take trauma dump for 500, Alex. I'll be fine. Thanks for caring. This. Remember that really important thing I told you about? What was it? This. You grew up poor. I mean, that's it, right? Well, that was correct. That wasn't wrong. That was... was that the wrong answer? Except no. F*** you. Turns out, you grew up poor is not what she meant by this. I'm sorry, am I the dumb one? That's what she said! I read that shit!
Typical woman, not knowing what she wants. Am I right, boys? Yeah, the fellas! Whoop, whoop, whoop!
At the risk of embarrassing myself even more, I messed it up again! We're neglected. That's not, that is, what? Apparently, her mother trying to force her into prostitution doesn't count as neglect either. No, the real answer was her poor health. What the fuck? No, it wasn't. I reread that shit. You are lying. You did not tell me that. My fictional bad bitch is gaslighting me. What do I do? Anyways, whether or not you get the question right, she blocks you on Twitter for whatever reason and the game ends. I'm still mad about the question thing. 1 out of 10, you're a dick. Ooh, but if you really suck, you can get this ending, which requires you to have less than 500,000 followers on the final day and a mental darkness and affection meter of above 60. If you do that, Ame will text you saying, "Do you even like me?" Trick question, I'm locking in C. She'll then actually quiz you on multiple things you did in the game, like where you had your first date, how many times you had sex, no really, that's not a joke, and whether you quote-unquote actually like her, in which you need to type a 100-word minimum essay that must include the word Ame. This motherfucker's handing out homework. Ugh. ChatGPT. If you get any of these wrong like I did, note, don't accidentally tell Ame you're an AI language model. She kills you, and you see this admittedly pretty cool graphic of the screen breaking. This ending is a little lame, but it does get bonus points. Bonus points? This ending is a little lame, but it does get bonus points for the fact that if you don't have sex with her, you automatically lose. Rise up, Guna Nation, 6 out of 10. If you suck less and do the same thing, but with a mental darkness meter under 60, you get the Laborer's Evil ending, in which Ame stops streaming and you and Ame both get a real job. Is video editing a real job? Let's just hope my mental darkness meter doesn't go below 60 or Diamond Ball to shit out of luck.
Homelander done took me bloody wife.
This ending is pretty boring. It fast forwards to the future in which you and Ame are living together. She goes AWOL, presumably dying, and a text box says, "Did she seem happy living a regular life?" And then the game ends. Fun fact, the description of the Steam achievement for this ending says, "You better work, bitch," which is a reference to Britney Spears' hit song, Work, Bitch. 10 out of 10. Okay, but maybe you really suck. Like, maybe you didn't even hit 500,000 followers, and Ame fucking hates you because her affection meter is below 60, and she's about to boot up her third playthrough of Amori because her mental darkness meter is above 60. Well, then you get the There Are No Angels ending, in which K-Angel starts a stream where she jumps off a building. There's 27 endings, they're not all gonna be complicated. This one's the most straightforward, it's pretty depressing, and I do think that's kind of for the best because you really have to be an asshole to get this ending. If you get this ending, you deserve this. Punchy, to the point, 7 out of 10. And Catastrophe is the ending where you have neither mental darkness nor affection above 60. She doesn't like you enough to move in with you, but she also isn't edgy enough to stream her jumping off a building, so she just kind of insults you, stops being a streamer, and then blocks you. Oh no, I mentioned the Spider-Verse working condition. This one's lame, I'm speeding through it, covering all 27 endings might have been a bad idea, 4 out of 10. So close yet so far is the funniest ending. Remember how I said the first goal of the game is to get 10k followers so you don't get evicted? Well, if you don't do that, you get evicted. That's the ending. Honestly, one of the funniest endings in the game, 8 out of 10. Flatline is a bit of an ominous name for an ending, so would you believe me if I said that this ending just requires you to ignore her messages? No, I'm serious. Every time you accidentally ignore Ame's messages to you, she'll get mad and post about it on Twitter. Even if you don't ignore her messages, she'll still sometimes just get mad for some reason. This game is broken, I'll get to that later. The telltale sign of a mentally healthy person. Ignore 5 of Ame's messages in a row and she'll leave your ass and presumably die? Well, okay, it's actually strange. The translation for this ending in Japanese is crossing the line, which to me makes sense. You're ignoring her messages, you're being a dick, you're crossing the line. So why did the English translators call this ending flatline? That very much changes the implication. Really, what just happens is she tweets that she's leaving you and the game ends, but I guess the English translators just wanted you to feel way worse about it for whatever reason. Anyways, this ending isn't very interesting, but it's awesome that it exists, so I don't know. 6 out of 10. Ground Control to Psychoelectric Angel. Cool name, boring ending. This is just the ending for if you max out Ame's affection meter, which, like I mentioned, does this. It's kinda lame. The I love you text appearing on screen isn't scary or anything. I keep calling these endings lame. I gotta find more synonyms. Okay, I looked online and found that there's apparently a slang word for lame called chungi? Chugi? I'ma use that instead. This ending is chungi, 2 out of 10. Wanna know how this game is better than all other games to ever exist? Well, this game has 2 separate cuck endings. Can't get much better than that.
And this is why The Last of Us 2 sucks dick.
The yin to ground control to psychoelectric angel's yang. This ending occurs when you drop Ame's affection to 0. This is actually pretty hard to do because typically you're trying to stop Ame's affection from hitting 100. In order to lower it, you either need to stream with her tits out or have her go scrolling through Tinder. If you do get it to 0 though, she'll start up a new stream of her with her new boyfriend. This little horse guy. Oh my god, I love it. Funny fact, if you go on Tinder, you can actually see a bunch of characters that can match with Ame, and this horse guy is one of them. And listen, Ame, I get why you picked him, country girls make do and all that, but you really couldn't have picked the ultra giga chad rhinoceros beetle. I mean, if you're gonna cheat on me, at least do it with the goat. Blazing Hell is an interesting one. I forgot to rate the cuck one. I don't know, 7 out of 10? Blazing Hell requires Ame's mental darkness meter to be above 60, and then she'll have a random, I think, chance of sending you a message asking for charcoal. If you buy her charcoal, she'll say, "I'm glad even a freak like me can spend her last moments with a special someone." And then you get the ending screen. Oh my god, did she just die? Oh no, she was kidding, actually. That's kind of lame. Sorry, I meant Chumi. This is like 2 lines of text and a fake ending screen. Does this one even count? The game counts it as an ending, so I guess it does? I don't know. This one sucks. Also, why did she even need you to buy her charcoal? Doesn't she know that you could just make some by smelting wood? Fucking 1 out of 10. This one sucks. It's chungi. Chungus. Nymphomania is the sex ending. You have sex. Auto captions are gonna get this video blocked if I use the word sex so much, so I'm censoring it. This ending requires you to bone 7 times, and if you do that, you'll be stuck in an infinite loop of boning for the rest of your life. Turns out gooning really does have its consequences. I mean, I don't mean to be that guy. This ending is pretty silly and fun, but I do find it weird that this game is very openly sexual. Like, Ame talks about it openly in your DMs and seems to wear her sexuality on her sleeve. But the game always acts like this is a bad thing. I get it, there's a limit to how much you should openly share a very private aspect of your life, but I don't know, there are 2 bad endings relating to sex in some way, and it feels like this game is saying, you can goon, but we're not gonna be happy about it. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but if these 2 wanna bang, then what am I gonna do to stop them? It's their life, leave them alone. Anyways, whatever. Can't be that, man. This is the sex ending after all. 9 out of 10 has a little something for everyone. I think I already made that joke. Normie life. Another simple ending. Let's just barge through these quickly so we can get to the good ones. If you let Ame's stress level drop to 0, she'll quit being a streamer and start studying? Of course, this is a fate worse than death. Would never wish it on my worst enemy. Game over. I do like that the text bubble for this ending says, humans can't live completely stress-free, don't you think? I like that this game shows that Ame is obviously not in the right mental headspace, while also simultaneously showcasing that stress and mental anguish can sometimes be essential to one's ability to create. It's, like, kinda subtle. I like that. 7 out of 10. I don't know. It's not nearly as choopy as the other one. Bomber Girl. It's like Bomberman, but more inclusive. That's right, guys. This game is woke. Pack up your things. To get this ending, you need to stress Ame out. Like, really stress her out. You need to have over 80 stress for 2 days, then max stress. Then, when the stress limit increases to 120, you need to max it out again. And finally, after talking about gooning and getting evicted and being a terrible streamer, we could finally talk about something psychological horror adjacent. God, it has taken so long. Stress events are probably the most standout moments in Needy Streamer Overload. They're the moments that kids are looking up reactions to on the internet. They're the parts that are designed to make you feel as uneasy as humanly possible. Having 80 stress or above for over 2 days causes the screen to go blood red, with Ame telling you to cut her wrists for her. What? Huh? Hello? Hi? It's incredibly jarring, and intentionally so. By this point, Ame has probably told you her issues with self-harm in some form of light-hearted manner, but this is where the game shakes you by the shoulders and tells you you're in too deep. After cutting her wrists, she streams live to her audience and vents about this problem to the world, almost attempting to normalize it. You can even see her chat talking about their issues and talking about how they're following in the footsteps of their favorite streamer. And after this, the game returns to normal. This is a very noticeable departure from the game's typical atmosphere, but after this event, nothing changes. It's back to business as usual. But of course, the game has more stress events if you decide to push her even more. Reaching the max stress of 100 after the first event will cause the screen to tilt permanently and Ame to go live where she just screams and vents about her suicidal thoughts. I really don't mean to censor that word because I think heavy topics like this shouldn't require it, but YouTube is gonna force me to, so I'm really sorry. As melodramatic and overblown as you might find this scene, it's not that far off from incidents we've witnessed over the course of streaming in YouTube history. Are they as blatant and as on the nose as this? No, but we've seen mentally unwell streamers who require help not be able to obtain it, and we've seen rabid fandoms flock to these people regardless. Ame letting out her pent-up stress alive is kind of silly, but desperate acts like this do happen when under the influence of severe states of mental illness. After this stream, the max stress will increase from 100 to 120. If you max out this stress cap again, Ame will tweet that she's giving up and then block you. A text bubble will pop up saying being strict to her is not the same as being kind to her. As you can probably tell, the first stress event is easily the most impactful, with each other being a little more typical. I think that it's that tonal whiplash that really makes the first scene stand out in the most uncomfortable sense of the word. Overall though, the ending itself isn't really a standout. The events are some of the most memorable moments in the game, but the end is just another euphemism that isn't really too impactful on its own. 6 out of 10. Sorry, I had to break the serious mood somehow. Whew. Did it get hot in here? Oh, wow. Internet overdose is like the last ending. Oh, do I have to stop making jokes again? How do I tonally walk this tightrope? This is one of the most standout endings. It's probably what people think is the default canon ending or whatever. But personally, I'm gonna hit it with you right off the bat. I don't really like it. Internet overdose requires the first 2 stress events we previously mentioned, and then requires you to keep that stress level above 80 until day 24. Once you hit day 25, the ending begins, and it's pretty simple. Ame's been getting a lot of hate recently, and the stress leads her to taking pills before her stream. She throws up on camera as a result, and the entire situation spirals. She streams again, lashing out at her fans and throwing up vile once more. A series of windows block the screen containing disgusting comments from her viewers while implying that she once again overdosed on medication. She streams again, threatens to kill everyone. The screen turns black and is filled with text that read die over and over again. Weird wavy water droplet animation fills the screen. She streams again with a massive blood splatter covering the wall. This stream name is called Diagram of the Body. That's gas. A poem shows. For some reason, she starts talking about mind control rays, and then K-Angel hosts a funeral for Ame live on stream. I don't want to talk about this ending. Not that this ending hits deep or is too difficult for me to talk about, but I feel like this is a good opportunity to discuss when this game works for me and when it doesn't. I feel like a lot of people love this ending because it's so out there, a 5-day gauntlet where shit spirals out of control. It's truly the culmination of Ame's streaming efforts and her declining mental health clashing, but I don't see it like that. See, I think psychological horror has lost a bit of its meaning over the years. Not to act like a fucking old person, I just mean that with more tools being available for people to make their own psychological horror experiences, I feel like a lot of people miss what psychological horror is. And I'm gonna be upfront, I don't like horror that is crazy, insano events designed to show the inner workings of my twisted mind. Because I feel like those don't often tie into what I like about psychological horror. Where horror is supposed to scare you, frighten you, give you a big boo! Psychological horror is meant to give you discomfort, uneasiness. It's supposed to make you feel like something is crawling under your skin. When someone tells me that Midsummer is one of the most incredible psychological horror experiences ever crafted, I kinda just can't understand it. Because this is not what I want in psychological horror. Ari Aster is a great creator, and I love what he does with Florence Pugh's character and her inner turmoil. Those are the aspects that drive the film. But I can't get into this crazy cult with their insane traditions or whatever. It just doesn't work for me. It feels too on the nose. I like when psychological horror cuts deep and uses the viewer's insecurities to its advantage. There's a lot of ways to do this, especially in video games. Typically, games go the route of flipping conventions to make a player feel uneasy. Doki Doki Literature Club makes you play a normal dating simulator for like 2 hours before it starts going off the deep end. PT has you traverse an endless hallway that keeps altering in minor ways to keep you on edge. Eternal Darkness alters your sanity, which can flip your controls and delete your saves. And even more action-driven games like Resident Evil can hit you with a roaming entity that will always track you down to add a new level of ever-present tension. But when it comes to character-driven horror, none of these games are really packing heat. And that's fine, they don't need to, but Needy Streamer Overload didn't make me feel viscerally uncomfortable because it flips video game conventions. I didn't feel like the game was gonna jump out at me at any second. Mr. X wasn't fucking chasing me. This game made me feel uncomfortable because it hit me. In a certain level of my psyche, it found an aspect of my brain that made me uneasy. In film, this isn't as difficult to accomplish. If you've seen Perfect Blue, you know that there's a lot of crazy shit that goes on in that movie. A lot of paranormal, unexplained events, but but it works better for me than Midsommar because it all spirals back to the protagonist, Mima. The movie puts you in her shoes, it makes you connect with her as a person, and then it can start pulling all the strings to make both you and Mima as horrifically uncomfortable as possible. If you've seen the movie, you know that the most terrifying scene is the one where no paranormal events are happening. No hallucination, no violence, no stalkers, no nothing. It is just you and Mima witnessing one of the most vile and horrific moments of her life. Quick addendum I should mention before people start correcting me. Yes, Danny does have great character moments in Midsommar 2, but they're not tied to the plot. I think Perfect Blue is infinitely more character driven, in which every fragment of horror ties back to the protagonist's psyche, whereas a lot of moments in Midsommar they just try to shock you with some basic unsettling horror stuff. Perfect Blue does this too, and it's not my cup of tea in that film either. Point is, the good and the bad are present in both movies. Perfect Blue just highlights it more. And while I'm here, no, I'm not just saying Perfect Blue is better because it's anime. I just actually haven't seen that many horror movies. I wish I could bring up something like The Witch here, but I haven't seen it, and psych horror isn't really a genre I've explored much. It probably does make you wonder why I'm talking about it. Moving on. This is character-driven psychological horror. It's what Needy Streamer Overload provides, and I think it was the first time I experienced that with a video game. But this time, the character wasn't some pop idol. It wasn't someone in the screen that I related to. It was me. This game, through Ame's lighthearted mention of her mental health issues to the anxiety-riddled music playing in harmony with the overwhelming amount of windows and aspects to keep track of, the game perfectly encapsulates the feeling of trying to talk someone off a ledge. If you identify or have ever identified with having a savior complex, this will make you feel uneasy, and I feel like this is the game's greatest strength. And to tie it back to this ending, I think I just like this game better when it isn't trying so hard. I don't need an insane stream filled with metaphors where the title is an alphabetical cipher to decode. This game does not have to be doing all this. It isn't working. Half of the game are the streamer reaction moments, and half of the game is where it actually shines. When it's bluffing, when it's holding its cards close to its chest, because when this game actually decides to reveal its hand, you realize it wasn't really dealt the best set to begin with. This ending gets a 6 out of 10. I did just shit on it the whole time, but it is one of the more interesting endings. I just feel like if you want to give me an ending that works for me, you gotta tap into what makes you special. Okay, you can wake up now. We're back to telling jokes. Wakey, wakey. What do you mean 5 more minutes, Ronnie? It's been like 40 minutes. Oh, now you're gonna unsubscribe. Real mature, Ronnie. Don't make me take a Temu sponsorship. I will do it, young man. SMT. Play a real SMT game. Bitch, does this count? This ending isn't really an ending. If your mental darkness is 100, every night the game will roll a random number between 0 and 100. And if you land on 66, the screen will do this. That's okay. Huh? What? What is going on? What is happening? What am I deleting? Game. Well, okay. Okay. Supposedly this is a reference to the original Shin Megami Tensei, but I don't get it. All in all, 8 out of 10. I like it, but I can't help but feel like this is Persona without the heart. Rainbow Girl is the ending where you do a bunch of drugs. Every time you take drugs, you unlock new ones, and by taking the magic paper a bunch of times, K-Angel starts tripping balls and talking to God. I'm such a dumb virgin goody two-shoes loser that I don't actually know what drug this is. Is this LSD? Do they come in little strips like this? I genuinely don't know, which is kind of embarrassing. Or a good thing. I don't really care about this ending. It's a bit koomy. I just care about the little visuals that happen whenever Ame is tripping balls. It's so low res. This one's an upside down escalator. This is a Japanese street corner. I don't even really know what this one is, to be honest. 6 out of 10. Bonus points for being one of the funniest endings. Welcome to My Religion is achieved by doing a bunch of streams, kind of like the sexy stream ending. If you Alex Jones yourself down enough of the conspiracy theory rabbit hole, Ame ends up joining a crazy ass cult in an attempt to lead humanity to the quote unquote truth. This ending is a bit too Chumanji for me, and it's left ambiguous, only being given this little crayon drawing of K-Angel and her followers. But I will report that it's Alex Jones 0, K-Angel 1, because at least she doesn't owe billions of dollars to victims. 5 out of 10. Hands down the funniest ending. Painful Future requires you to overdose on a bunch of medicine. Okay, I swear it actually does get funny. Give me a sec. By performing enough breakdown streams, which is a subgenre of stream category you can pick from, don't get it confused with the stress event breakdown stream. That's different. That comes bundled in with the stress event. These ones you have to go out of your way to do. After doing enough of them, much like the religion stream, Ame will boot up stream. But instead of doing some crazy breakdown like you might think, she just takes off her stupid costume and starts fucking blazing. Yo! She's getting lit. She really said rip bozo #packwatch. That's kind of gas though. That kind of goes hard. Imagine if like Iron Mouse turned on face cam and just started smoking a blunt. Honestly, 10 out of 10. This ending's fucking hilarious. Do you love me? Do you? I asked you a question. This ending is achieved by having over 1 million followers. Finally, we're actually getting to the goal. If you recall, we didn't actually get 1 million followers like the game wanted from us in our playthrough, so these next few endings will show you what happens when you actually do what the game tells you to do. This ending also requires you to have mental darkness and affection over 80. Once you hit day 30, Ame will start tweeting about going to an amusement park with you, and all her fans get cucked. Then she streams from a Ferris wheel, and the game ends. This ending sucks, what? Like, that's it? There's not really much to analyze here. I can't possibly think of what this ending means on a metaphoric level. It's just kind of choosy. Though a cool fact about this ending is there's an unused Twitter post that has the player's silhouette in it that was replaced with this photo. I want you to keep this in mind when we talk about the true ending, but it's interesting that this is theoretically what the protagonist looks like, or looked like, so that's cool. But yeah, honestly, if you asked me whether I liked Do You Love Me, I'd probably say only partly. I didn't really understand it, so my bad. I was too busy having sex with your mama. Sorry, 4 out of 10. To follow up the worst joke I've ever made on this channel, Dark Angel is basically the last ending, but instead you need to do the same thing while maxing out your stress. Supposedly it needs to be over 100, so you need to trigger the second stress event for this to work. I think. After this happens, her final stream will transform into this Dark Angel stream in which Ame puts on maybe the hardest fit of the summer. Yay, transform! Whoa, okay. She looks drippy in that. Look at her nails, bro. Then she blasts breakcore and rambles about some psychopathic shit. Or women. I also want to take this time to mention that this game can be very funny, unintentionally. Like, she just went right off the deep end after the stream, and then this happened. Look, my subscriber count shut up. I don't think it would. This is not intentional, obviously. This game was just kind of broken. For a game with the most simple control scheme in the world, I wasn't expecting it to soft lock. Twice. I can't press anything. Tons of buttons have broken click boxes and won't let you do what you want to do. I found it especially frustrating with altering stream speeds. Like, I swear this button does not work half the time. I literally cannot skip. I can't skip it. This game is very simple, yet still somehow being held together by duct tape. Pichon, look at my DM already. Stop ignoring me. I can't see your DMs, dog. They're not there. It's not that big of a deal, but it's worth mentioning, I guess. She streams again, starts threatening people. I start partying because the music is bumping. She kills herself, blood splatters onto the monitor, end screen. You've probably realized by now, these endings are all very similar, though I do give this one bonus points for how much she ate with that fit. Like, damn! 7 out of 10. Unhappy end world. Guys, we're almost there. Just a few more to go. Stick with me now. We got this. This ending, say it with me now, is chungy. By getting 1 million followers with affection over 80 and mental darkness under 80, Ame will use her funds to buy a new place for her and Peachon. She'll set up a stream schedule and it'll be awesome, and she'll text you how much she loves you, and the game will f***ing softlock. Jesus. Oh, okay. So it is broken. She posts on a private account about the fact that she's lying and pretending to be happy, and then the game ends. Sure, whatever, I'm so tired. I'm sick of saying bad things about this game, but this ending sucks, nothing happens. She just says that her happiness is bland and boring, and there's no sense of relatability or tangibility to anything she says. I kinda hate it when the game ends abruptly like this and just says, oh haha, you lose by the way. It makes her character feel so much more hollow. Where is the 3-dimensional human underneath Ame? Because with endings like this, it feels like the game is telling me, oh yeah, we forgot to make an ending for this specific condition, so we whipped it up in 4 hours, open wide. 2 out of 10, I don't like it. But don't worry, if you want to counteract that vegetable bad ending with a good ending for dessert, Internet Runaway Angel be invoked as the ending that occurs when you max out your follower count. 9,999,999. After Ame successfully takes over the world with K-Angel and brings everyone together in unity, she hosts one final stream where she absorbs the Lance of Longulus and annihilates the planet. You reap what you sow, Elon!
I am God. I am the Harbinger. The tuning has been nothing but a means to an end. Though time is slow, the ever uneasy presence of death lingers in the air as I, K-Angel, descend to bring you all together in harmony. Hear my prayer to the Almighty as God suffers at my hand. Finally, I have accomplished the deeds of the fallen angel and the world will be reborn.
It keeps on tumbling down, tumbling down, tumbling down. 9 out of 10, this ending's awesome. Happy End World is also a fantastic one, and the one ending that I personally think brings this game together. To get this ending, you need to have 1 million followers, and Ame's mental darkness must be below 80, and her affection has to be above 80. It's simple enough, but the second trigger for this ending is that you must literally disconnect from the internet. No, that's not a joke. In fact, what makes it even funnier is that the determining factor for whether you get this ending or not is that your computer cannot be allowed to connect to Twitter specifically, which is so funny. This ending shows Ame leading the cause of everyone disappearing off the internet, in which you see a giant timeline of people leaving Twitter for good. And God, that is so awesome and so funny. After a little bit, Ame attempts to return to the world of streaming, but after seeing that literally everyone else has left, she deletes her post.
Where is he always going? I'm back. I'm back.
Until he started breaking worlds, his whole identity was like, I'm not good enough. Remember me? I'm still here. I'm back.
I actually really like this ending. It's literally just a wave of people agreeing to leave the internet, and unlike a lot of other endings, there's a decent amount to interpret here. Like how Ame's dependence on the internet fades after realizing there's nobody left to feed her empty validation. It kind of shows that the internet is an ecosystem, and if there's no eco in the system, then the whole thing crumbles and people can return to a more ordinary life. The end box for this ending says, a powerful illusion like that of an angel's smile, which is referring to the internet itself. Likes, comments, followers, it's an illusion. This shit isn't real, and this ending shows a world where all of that finally vanishes. I don't like media that just says, internet bad, but I think this ending shows more than that. It's stripping the internet down to its basics and showing both the player and Ame that this online world they've been affected by so much has absolutely nothing tangible within it whatsoever. This, to me, is the perfect ending to this game, and it encapsulates the parts of it that I enjoy. It's character driven, it's got a decent amount to pick apart, but it's simple enough for anyone to get. Plus, you literally need to disconnect from Twitter to get the ending. That is so funny. 9 out of 10. Whew. Okay, guys. We're so close. Just bear with me on this one. We're almost there. Comment to dire adieu is the ending I can't pronounce, though adieu is quite a good starting word on Wordle given it contains 4 vowels, so keep that in mind if you're interested. This ending is only possible after achieving every other ending in the game, with a few exceptions like SMT given that ending is completely random, but if you're curious, check the wiki, I'm too tired to get into it. Point is, this is the super ultimate super ending, likely the final ending you'll encounter. There's high expectations when you set up your ending like this, so you gotta remember not to fumble something as important and as high stakes as this. Oh, what's that? You caught wind of my incredibly monotonous and repetitive speaking patterns whenever I'm setting up an obvious punchline? You're already aware that I'm about to say this ending is bad? Well, you're correct, this ending is bad. Wow, you're so clever. Booting up a corrupted save file on the home screen, the game will begin without the need for the player's input. The clock keeps turning and turning. Ame talks about how she wants to find another part of herself. Eventually, she hits 1 million without you even doing anything. Which, I mean, I gotta say is kind of impressive, because I didn't even hit 1 million on my first playthrough. Asshole, she's been backseating me this whole time, I just know it. As the days fly by without you doing anything, Ame eventually decides that she actually doesn't need you anymore and abandons your ass. Without Ame in the picture, you can finally see what the secret is. That secret text document that's been sitting on the PC this whole time. Finally, you can double click, open the document, and reveal the worst twist in the history of video games. Notes on the current Pichon. Profile. My favorite person in the world and also my producer. Tells me what to do so we can turn K-Angel into the strongest internet angel. Also supports me emotionally and mentally. I love my Pichon. Thoughts. The current Pichon isn't bad, but I kind of can't deal with people only being nice to me, so I made things work by myself, but it's still not ideal. I'll just make a better Pichon next time. One that's so dreamy that I'll never wake. I think I'll start off with the goal of making marriage material next. I can't wait to live a new life happily married. Following this document is an image, presumably drawn by Ame. C-, quit coloring outside the lines. If you're wondering what this ending is, what it means, or what it's suggesting, then you're right there with the rest of the community. This is quite a debated topic, though a lot of people have come to the conclusion that Pichon, aka the player, is just an alternate personality of Ame, a split version of herself to validate her and make her feel loved. Because she's just so crazy. I hate this ending. I think it sucks. To me, half the anxiety of this game comes from the idea that you are the person sent to love and protect the one person that is insanely mentally unstable. The pressure is on you to protect them, and this ending undoes all of it. There's no outside pressure because you were Ame the whole time. She didn't have a manager or a boyfriend. No, that was her. You are her. What a twist. I'm already sick of this whole meta-narrative thing that a lot of indie games do. Even games I like. I'm not huge on the constant need to tie into some big twist regarding the player or whatever, but this is really pushing it. Half your endings are going to be the same boring shit, and your real ending is going to drop some dumb half-assed meta reveal on you that makes these endings even worse. A lot of the endings change with the hindsight after this ending, some for the better, but most for the worst. If you remember the Utopian parody ending, which is fine if you don't writing the script, I don't even know how long this video is going to end up being, but I know the answer is too f***ing long. I'm not expecting you to recall that shit. Ame vents to you about her family trauma and growing up poor and abused. Later, you can take a trip and visit Ame's parents on a certain day. She says she wants to go confront them about something, and she needs you for moral support. You two go together and spend your day with her parents before coming back later in the day. It's a small moment that's really easy to miss. I can't even find the requirements to trigger this on the wiki. But with this ending in mind, this means that in reality, Ame vented to herself about her parents, then decided she needed to bring herself along to meet her parents, which obviously she already knows for no reason, and then she comes back and is happy you were there with her. And by you, she means herself. What the f? This ending sucks, and I want to emphasize the venom on that. It is a horrendous ending. It completely demolishes everything that most people like about the game. And all for what? What's the desired effect? You made her look more mentally unwell? Motherfucker, she was already mentally unwell. Every now and again, the game gets a bit absurd with just how mentally unwell she is, especially with the cult type endings, but for the most part, it's grounded in some form of reality. But this ending implies that the entire time, she was super duper crazy. Wow, I'm gonna kill you, right? It's so fucking stupid. Why did you think this was a good idea? This is so dumb. Fuck you. 0 out of 10. -1 out of 10. This ending sucks so much I'm breaking maths. I'm gonna rate this disaster of an ending with fucking teriology. And with that, admittedly sour note, we've covered basically all the endings. That's Needy Streamer Overload. That's the experience of this cute little indie game. I don't want you to leave this video with that angry rant in your head that makes it sound like I hate this game, because I don't. I actually quite like this game. It's better than the sum of its parts. It's mostly held together by its concept and music and genuinely well-written dialogue that feel like they were taken straight out of a femcel's DMs. Sorry, I only just learned what a femcel is, and I can't stop saying it. It's such a funny word. This game is a mixed experience. It's got great ideas and genuinely really unsettling depictions of anxiety and panic and suicidal ideation. There's a lot here that I love because I usually don't see it depicted well, and it's kind of a breath of fresh air seeing a game that does it right. And honestly, I think this game works best in the special case in which one person who harbors thoughts and feelings like this get to play the silly little indie game they heard about and change their perspective on how they feel and act and how unhealthy their lifestyle is. I'm sure a lot of men and women could see themselves in Ame, and honestly, there was a time in my life where I could probably have seen myself in her too. Not anymore though, I take drugs. This game could honestly have saved a few people, or at least cued some into understanding their unhealthy habits by forcing them to take care of someone like them, forcing them to enact the experience of talking someone off a ledge, attempting to project your responsibilities onto someone who really, genuinely needs help from a fucking professional.
Hey, I'm back in Costa Rica. Lovely place. Wonderful people. Fuck off, man. The polar that was in Costa Rica before was the polar from around early November, and the polar that you've been hearing through most of this video, the recording, was done in around October. The polar that is currently speaking to you, hi, is from January 4th, 2025. This video isn't over. This isn't the outro or anything. I've still got a little bit more to say, but I wanted to add a little segment in the future to kind of explain that I hate this video. If you've been following my community tab, you'll know that this video has been taking a comically long time to come out. Yes, I know, 2 posts in December, very, very funny. The reason this video has taken so long to come out is because I can't stand it. I like parts of the video. I think my editing's getting good. I think my script writing and joke delivery is improving a lot. And honestly, it took me a really long time to color grade that fucking cat. But every time I opened up the project file in Premiere to work on this video, I hated it. I hated everything it stood for, and I felt deeply uncomfortable. Not because the video was necessarily awful in its structure, but because the video was wrong. I made the video wrong. When Past Polar said that they were just looking for a funny game to cover, they were absolutely right. They also didn't know how a lapel mic worked, but luckily, I still don't. Needy Streamer Overload was a video game that was sitting in my Steam library, and I just wanted to play it. I thought it'd be a silly, fun indie game, it'd have horror elements, and it'd be a fun one to talk about. Unfortunately, I got very unlucky, and Needy Streamer Overload is not that. Like I've been saying for the past 55 minutes, Needy Streamer Overload is a good game, but it's not an excellent game, and it didn't wow me. I think it was a really, really good foundation, but I think it could have been added upon just a little bit more to really wring out all of the elements that I love about it. But you've been listening to me go on for almost an hour about that. That's not what I'm here to say. What I'm here to say is that when I wanted to make a video on this, I wrote the video like I write most of my other videos. Like I write the fucking Fortnite one, the fucking incest one. Like I joked around. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a funny game to talk about. Ame as a character is one who kind of keeps her feelings buried underneath jokes. And when it erupts as emotional manipulation. And it's something that I've experienced firsthand, as I've alluded to in this video. I'm kind of saying this because I feel like I've been disingenuous over the course of this video. The reason why the people that I've met exist, and the reason why people end up becoming like Ame, is because they bury their baggage so deep, and every time they feel like they're at a breaking point, it's not like they can talk about their feelings. So for a lot of people, they need to say things so that they can see action. It's sad and it's manipulative, but it's true, and sometimes they don't intend to do it. And this isn't an evil thing. I think we kind of all feel like this a little bit. Sometimes I wonder how many other people with depression have thought about how many people would show up to their funeral. These aren't inhuman things to think about. We really do care how other people perceive us, and sometimes words aren't enough. The point I'm trying to make, though, is that all of this happens when people bottle up their feelings and when people don't express them. This whole video, I've been making stupid jokes. I've been saying stuff like, guys, I could fix her, and I hate it. I hate it. It's not what I want this video to be. And the reason I was making jokes like that was because I hadn't come to terms with my own baggage. I wasn't comfortable to share it, and working on this video has kind of helped me pull it up to the surface, Because unfortunately, to the public eye, you're at your most attractive when they don't know anything about you. At the end of the day, none of us want to talk about this. No one's comfortable with it. Everyone is upset about it. It's the exact reason why I've had to censor myself so much in this video, because YouTube won't allow me to talk about topics like this without requiring a censorship, and I hate doing it. Serious topics need to be portrayed with gravitas because that's what they are. If you're in the position where you're either looking after someone who is acting like Ame, or if you might be Ame and you're worried that you're someone who might also accidentally be manipulating the people around you, talk about it. Just talk about it. Don't be vague. Don't be scared. It's fine. It's okay. And this isn't a gendered thing too. I feel like a lot of men are going to watch this video and be stupid about it. No. This is an everyone thing. Everyone can be manipulative because everyone can be sad. There are people around you that are willing to listen. They're willing to take care of you. And I know people, and I myself have been in your shoes, but it is better when you tell people how you feel. So no matter how I feel about Needy Streamer Overload as a game, I have to thank it so much. It's helped me learn a lot about the fact that closure is not something that someone gives you. Closure is something that you have to attain yourself. And if it took 5 months for it to help me with it, then so be it. So thank you, Needy Streamer Overload. You have helped me out a lot. And I hope that I've helped out some people that might be in this situation too. There's like a motorcycle, can you hear that? But if you're well versed in this video game, then you might have noticed that I've actually missed an ending. And yes, there is one more ending in this game. I don't have a whole lot to add to the final section. It kind of speaks for itself, and it kind of relates to everything that I've been talking about here. So I have been future Polar from Polarity, and I'm gonna send it back to older Polar from Polarity to talk about...
The Galactic Express ending is achieved by completing every stream under the category of net lore, after which Ame will message you saying, "Hey, did you know that during a meteor shower, if you turn to the night sky and make a wish, a train will appear and grant it for you?" It's just a silly story that was going around when I was in grade school though. But wouldn't it be wonderful if it were real? If that train ever appears for us, I want you to board it with me. Then we can travel through the cosmos. Promise me you will. After this, if you overdose at noon, leaving your nighttime slot free, you can access a new location on the map called Galactic Rail. This is a very not so subtle reference to the fantasy novel Night on the Galactic Railroad. Written by Kenji Miyazawa in 1927, it's an incredibly influential piece in Japan, with the concept of this galactic train taking people to the afterlife still referenced to this day. It inspired Galaxy Express 999, it's referenced in Over the Garden Wall, schools perform plays inspired by the novel. Supposedly, I don't exactly have Japanese high school experience, so do correct me if I'm wrong. I did try to find out whether Honkai Star Rail took inspiration from this story with its galactic train, but I can't find anything online. And if I kept looking, Honkai Star Rail would take over my search recommendations, and do I really want that? Given this train is designed to take the deceased to the afterlife, the implication is that Ame overdoses and passes away at noon, and her and Pichan take a trip on the train to the afterlife where the game ends. This is slightly depressing, but there's something about this ending that I love. Maybe it just resonated with me. Maybe I'm just seeing things, but my favorite part about this ending is the conversation you have with Ame before the game ends.
And I don't feel the need to explain why I like this ending. I know why. I mean, there's a reason I trekked up here. Maybe it'll resonate with you too, but maybe it won't, and that's okay. Thank you for watching this stupidly long video. The next one will be shorter, I promise. I'm never working on a video this long again. I'm sorry for keeping you for so long. I'll pass it off to Ame to let you all go.
Whoa. Wow, I can't believe we actually managed to board this train. I can see time itself. If God exists, do you think he would let us into heaven if we did good things? That is what the Bible says, yes. Nah, you're all going to hell. Oh yeah, I've been there once. Yeah, last week. Being so obsessed with the internet day in and day out was like hell. All the numbers acted like an objective parameter for how much happiness I was earning, but... I wasn't happy at all. Deep down. Hey, what do you think true happiness is? I was way too worried about how I appeared to others and no one saw me for who I was. But there was one person who stayed by my side through the whole thing at least. Everyone in chat is saying me. You deserve to live your own life and be free. I'm letting you go. That's my final duty as the internet angel. Looks like the train terminates here. I'm a real angel now. I like that ending.